Hey everybody, welcome to Palworld Mod Building. I am Mods, and today we are going to be building advanced things with Rotated. This is going to be assuming you have already seen the first video, and let's go ahead and get into it. Today we're going to be building some stuff in the air. We're going to be using Rotated to put our PAL box in the air, and I'm going to be showing you how to use Rotated to add pieces to a build in the air where normally you have a lot of difficulty putting things down. So to get started, we're going to open Rotated. We're going to grab our stone foundation, and we're going to need a 4x4 section in the air to have enough surface space for a PAL box. But if we want to build around it, we're going to do 2x3. So we're going to put our PAL box right there in the middle. We're going to build a small border around it. We're going to build one bridge, and we're going to build another little platform. Now you can design all of this on the ground and lift it into the air if you like to, or you can go ahead and put your base in the air and build onto it, which I find to be a little bit more intuitive. So the very first thing you're going to want to do is find a height that you would like to be at. For all intents and purposes, we're going to go really, really high just for fun. So what you want to do is you want to lock on your foundation piece. Now you don't have to use a foundation. If you want to go really intricate, you can start with a roof piece or something like that, and we can get into that a little bit later. But we're going to grab our one foundation piece, we're going to stand on it, and we're going to go up on the y-axis until we find a good height. That gives us a nice view, but that's not fun. Let's get way up here. There we go. 79.41. That looks like a fun height. So what we're going to do is we're going to safely land back on the ground like this. We're going to copy all of that information, and then we're going to aim it and shoot our other pieces with copy and paste. So what I'm doing is I'm targeting it with V. She saw that lift monk just ran on that piece. He was in the air and then he jumped down. Alright. Now you see we only have one square, and that's because we pasted all of our foundations on the same one. And I did this because this is the hard way to do it. The easy way to do it is to paste the height on each of those squares. But instead, we're going to use our shift movement to move these around. So we're going to grab our first one, move that one over, grab another one, move it over. Now we know that we're 2x3, so we're just drawing this out. There we go. So we know there's two more pieces coming out here. There we go. One more to go. Alright. So now we have our 2x3 squares all in the air on the same grid. Now that we're up here, we can grab a PAL box, and we can drop that guy down. We'll try and get it centered the best we can. Now we have the start of our little air base. Let's see if we get that, can't build too close. There we go. Okay. So what we can do is we can use Rotated to shift a wall built on this axis back over here, because in the moment we do not have access to it. We do have a spot here and a spot here that allows us. So we're going to show you two ways to do this. We're going to put one here and one here. So what we can do is we can grab this wall and use our shift movement. 2 is one perfect grid spot. You can shift that wall over there, and you can do the same thing forward. If you can put it down, you can move it. There we go. Alright, now we got ourselves a little box. I would like a clear roof. Too close, eh? Let's grab our roof. Shift to move it over. I would like it thinner. So let's go to Y scale. And let's thin that down. There we go. Yeah, that looks nice and thin. Alright, we're going to move it forward 1. Now this puts it perfectly in the center. That moved it 1/2, so it's in between 2 and perfectly in between 3. So now if we manipulate our scale, it's already perfectly centered. There we go. Now we have a single pane, not a whole lot of lines or anything. We got one piece as our roof. And now we've got ourselves a neat little box with an awesome view on all these sides, right? Well, this is not a very functional base. So what we're going to do here is we're going to put both of these walls at half scale, which creates a perfect grid square in the middle. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a pathway from here to another small box that we will also box in. And how we're going to do that is we're going to copy our foundation information here. Let's paste us a roof down. You know, we didn't have to copy the foundation information, so we're not going to. There we go. Let's lower it a little bit just so. There we go. And we don't want a bunch of pieces, right? So what we'll do is we're going to shift and increase this to 2. This makes it exactly 2 blocks long. So we've got ourselves a little small pathway, right? And then while we're here, let's put some walls on this, and we'll come back and iron these out when we come back to it. So now let's copy our foundation, and now we're going to go back down to the ground. Let's fall off. Alright, there we go. And we need a room, right? We might be able to reach it from over here. So let's put us some foundation pieces down. Let's make us another 2x3 room. So a 2x3, we're going to need 6 pieces. Here we go. Occasionally you can ride the piece back up with the pace. Let's see. Haha, it worked. Alright. Alright, so we're going to be moving our new foundation piece that we dropped on the ground to the end of our walkway. We're going to copy the position of the piece we just put down, and let's see if we can reach. It's hard to get this angle. Let's see here. Alright, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to grab our pieces very easily. So what we'll do is we'll paste them all into the position of this foundation and move them one at a time again. So let's fall back down. We are going to copy the foundation we have in the air, and then we're going to aim and we're going to use V to paste the information to all of these pieces. And this is going to take them all up into the air to the one piece that we already have. Now we want this to be centered. So we'll do what's against the bridge last, because we've got to pull pieces off of it. There we go. Put one there. Grab the next piece. You have to actually grab the next piece though. You can't do what I'm trying to do. And we're gonna do, you know what? Let's do this one wide instead. There we go. Then we'll move these guys back out like this. Grab the last middle piece there. Alright, now we have another platform. And of course this does support its own walls. If you've got the materials for it. I slapped together a base and didn't bring enough stuff with me here. Let's see. Alright. So as you can see, it does support its own stuff here. You can put its own walls. Now, roof is a different story. Roof is a bit of an issue. It requires more rigging, and of course falls into the issue occasionally where you don't have enough support. But copy and pasting and using rotated to move things into place does circumvent that issue. So now that we've got we know that this bridge here that we built is too wide, so let's take this wall, make it too wide, and we just want to make that a railing. So let's shorten the height on it. I have this situation going on at plateaus. See the same thing to the other side. Increase it to 2, and then lower its height to 3. And we have officially built ourselves a little room onto our floating POW box. And of course, this works exactly the way you would expect it to. Just because it's in the air doesn't mean that you're going to run into anything strange. If you teleport there, you will, of course, teleport into the air properly. I've never run into an issue where I have fallen through the ground or anything like that. So there you go. I mean, you got POW box in the air. You now know how to build things on the ground and lift them up, stretch them, move them around, do whatever you would like to do with them. The only, like I mentioned earlier, the only grid movement using shift that doesn't work properly is your Y scale. And that's because from one wall to another wall is 225 points. Between this height at 79.41 and you can't actually target it because of the roof, and right here at 82.66. That's a 225 point difference. If you can count that quickly, you won't have any issues, but as you see, if you shift and go up and down with this, it does not line up properly because of course the walls just don't want to act correctly. But if you were to pitch it forward, it does go on the grid properly. And that is how you use rotated to put a POW box in the air. Stretch one piece to cover up an entire gridded area, and use rotated to make a little bridge and another floating section. You can repeat this process and make an entire functional base in the air. I will actually be doing that in one of my upcoming videos. If you have any questions, let me know. I really hope this helped. Thanks for watching, and God bless.